Hi everybody, and welcome to this video. Thanks for tuning in. This video is for my team, Team Believe, and I will be posting this on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. And if you get any information out of this video that helps you, I'd love to hear from you. It's always nice to get comments so that you're not alone doing these videos. And I just hope I can help someone. Today I'm going to be talking about samples and the best way to use samples to increase your sales, because that's the whole idea behind samples, is to get those out in front of people so that they can try new products that they've never tried before, and to hopefully give you more orders, therefore increasing your sales, therefore making more money. We all want to make more money, right? So let's begin. So basically, for those of you that do not know me, I have been in Avon for about 10, 11 years. The reason why I'm hesitant on the number of years is because I'd have to go back and actually look, because I was one of those representatives where I was in Avon for about, I'm going to guess, 7, 8 years. And then I went through a very nasty divorce. I got very ill during my divorce and had a lot of health complications. Later on was determined that it was just severe anxiety, but it was to the point where I could not even walk into a Walmart without having a panic attack. So during that time, I did not promote my business. I did not pass out my brochures. I didn't close my account, but I was not working my business during that time. I was just struggling to stay alive. Basically, at that point, it's the feeling that I had. So I was out of commission from my Avon business for like 13 campaigns. So I just missed the cutoff on happen to be reinstated versus happen to start a brand new account. Unfortunately, I had to start a brand new account, but this time I'm going strong, and I've been with Avon for 3 years this time. So I think a total about 10, 11 years, like I said. During that time, I have seen what I've done wrong with samples and developed new ideas on how to improve, how to get better, and what to do with the samples to increase my sales. So the first thing I want to talk about is organizing your samples, right? So you get all these samples, you start buying them. And first of all, I want to mention in your What's New catalogs, there's always a great deal on samples in there. I mean, you can get like 72 samples for like, I don't know, $7, $8 usually. So check out your What's New catalogs for any of the deals on samples. If you don't find what you're particularly looking for in there, you can always go into your back office and order the samples that you want. And now, Avon does not have samples on every single product that is offered. So there are times where representatives have made their own samples. I'm not going to go into making samples here in this video. I can do that in another video. But I just want to mention that so that you do know that if you can't find the sample that you need, there is the possibility of getting the supplies to make those samples. So, organizing your samples. 10 years ago, when I started collecting samples, I would buy however many I could each campaign or every other campaign. I would take part of my profit and buy samples. So, 10 years ago, I started out with this little thing right here. You know this. And then I would just take samples, open them up, dump them in the bag. More samples come in, dump them in the bag. Right? So, it worked. And if that works for you right now, if that's what you can afford to do, do it. However, as you progress and as you can organize yourself a little bit better or be able to get something else that works for you better, experiment with it and see what works the best for you. Now, with doing this, of course, you've got to reach down in the bag and grab a whole mess of samples out. And then it's like, okay, which one am I going to get? Okay, I'm going to give this one to this person, this one to that person. So, I graduated from one of these to, let me find it here, to one of these. Okay, this is just a this is not an Avon box, but it's just a box, right? This size. So, you know, it just went bigger. That's all it did. I still dumped the samples in the box. And then I would grab the samples out and then, okay, one in this bag, one in that bag, one in this bag. There was really no kind of like strategic planning when it came to my samples and who was going to get what at this point. So I graduated from one of those to one of these, right? Although our boxes back then wasn't that big. For you older representatives, it was one of the boxes where we had the lids that came down on top of the box. Those were so nice for storing things, and guess what? I had one of those for samples, and it was samples only. And I would just take it out, and again, I would pick one out, and one goes to this customer, one goes to that customer, one goes to that customer. So, yeah, so, you know, over time, you get more and more samples. I was passing them out, but I was buying them too, because I wanted the samples so that I could be able to give my customers the different possibilities of products that they may like. So, with that being said, I have recently graduated from one of those. I graduated maybe 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I graduated from a big box of mess filled with samples to one of these ideas. It's just a 3-ring binder, and I'll try to unzip it and show you with baseball card inserts in it. Woo. And then the different samples in the baseball card inserts. The only thing I'm having a problem with this, okay, all your baseball card inserts are open at the top, right? You slide the baseball cards down in. So if you're not careful and you open this up the wrong way, the samples come out of the top. So I've got to work on that, figure that out. I don't know. I might end up changing this up again, but this works well because then, you know, I have all of my skincare in one area. I have all my fragrance in one area, and I have all the same samples together. Therefore, I can look through the pages and see what samples I actually do have versus what samples I don't have. And for example, if I'm running low on men's fragrance, it's very easy to see that now, versus just dumping them in a box or in a bag. I couldn't tell you what I had and what I didn't have. I also couldn't tell you how many of my samples were discontinued, or, you know, of products that had been discontinued. This is a lot easier to see exactly what I have and be able to select from what I have to give to a customer. Okay, now I wanted to produce some other ideas for you on organizing your samples, not necessarily at home, but for on the go. So you're in your car, and you always keep samples in your purse, right? Because no matter where you're at, you want to be able to offer someone a sample as a way to introduce yourself and your business. Or if you're talking with someone and the conversation comes up that you are an Avon representative, you may say, well, here's a sample of our new perfume. That is a door opener, right, to get you and your business to that customer. So what I have done, and I forgot to get some of my business cards, but you can just take a sample, any sample, and staple your business card to the back of it and pass your samples out that way, because I haven't gone to the steps of labeling all of my samples. That'd be a lot of labels, that'd be a lot of ink, a lot of time to sit and put your name and contact information on all these. But if you're capable of doing that, hey, you can do that. That way, when you pass these out, your information's on your sample. But the easy route to do would be to just attach these to your business card, if you have business cards, and hand them out. So, yeah, you can be sure to hand samples out. You got them in your purse, you're handing them out, right? So where do you put them in your purse? Well, a side pocket, a front pocket, reach down there and grab them out, whatever. But you can also get a coupon organizer, and I've got one with coupons in it, but just to show you, this is, I think Avon gave this out a long time ago, but you can go to like the dollar store and get like plastic ones of these for like $1, and you can just see that it's an organizer, and you can just like organize it for, like, you could put like however you want to say it. You could like put like women's fragrance, men's fragrance, bath and body, footworks, however you want to categorize your binder. But then take some samples. This is women's fragrance, so it would go behind women's fragrance. You have this closed up and in your purse or in your carry-on bag, or if you're traveling, you can have this in your suitcase or anywhere to where you could grab this and hand someone a sample, or go through it and say, yeah, I do happen to have a sample of that. Here you go. So that is another neat idea to keep your samples organized, to keep them in a neat place so that they're easily found. Again, here you could pretty much roughly go through each one of these and see what samples you have, or what samples you're missing, or I need to stock up on this sample, or I need to stock up on that sample. So that is a neat idea to use. You can get, like I said, you could get a couple of these. I think I've seen them at Dollar General, but I know you could also probably buy them at the dollar store. Sorry, my battery notification came up. So then there's that idea. Then I thought of another idea. What if you just take a shoe box or a small box of some sort and did this idea but in a box? So I thought, well, shoe box is going to be too big, because there again I'll end up dumping them in there. So you could take like a Kleenex box, you could cut it down, you could take 3x5 cards, and you could cut whatever size this is. You want the 3x5 card to stick up, so you could cut this like halfway down, sticks 3x5 cards in here for your dividers. Alright, you're going to write women's fragrance, stick all your women's fragrance behind there. Another one that says men's fragrance, stick your men's fragrance, and so forth. So maybe you could come up with a box idea that would be very inexpensive for you to do. And I love stocking up on office supplies at the dollar store. We just went through back to school time, so when back to school is in and there's all those good sales on all the school supplies, stock up on your office supplies as well. So that's an idea. Maybe you can organize your samples in a box, whatever you can afford and whatever you can do and whatever works best for you. So that is a little bit about organizing your samples. Now, once you have them organized, what's the best way to use them? And for this, I want to talk a little bit about our back office, which I will be flipping my screen here in a minute. But you need to talk to your customers. I mean, really get to know your customers. Know what they like and don't be afraid to ask them. I mean, if you finally get a customer that you do not know, she's not a personal friend or anything like that, and she orders from you, and let's say she orders Timeless. Well, would she be interested in other fragrances? Would she be interested in trying other fragrances, especially when we come out with a new fragrance? You might want to introduce a sample when we come out with a new one. Now, when you hand her the sample, another thing I wanted to talk about was for many, many, many years, until just recently, what I was doing was when I was bagging up my orders, I had all these Avon bags, right, with each customer's orders in the bags. And then I would go through and take a sample and dump it in the bag. Take a sample, dump it in the bag. Take a sample, dump it in the bag. Seal the bag up, put an invoice on it. Take it, deliver it, collect my money. Hoping and praying that they would use the sample and never hearing anything back about the sample. I just thought, well, you know, they're going to try it. If they like it, they'll buy it. If they're not buying it, they must not like the sample. Well, that is the wrong frame of mind that I've learned over the years, is you have to be willing to talk to the customer and ask them about the samples that you're giving out. So what I have done a little bit differently now, instead of just dumping it in the bag and hoping and praying that they use it, sometimes I won't even put it in the bag. I'll carry it with me. When I go to make the delivery, I will have the customer's bag and the sample in my hand, or I'll staple this to the top of the bag, and I'll say, "Hi, Mary, here's your order, and your total is blah, blah, blah," which, you know, I've already done that over the phone to schedule the day that I can come deliver. I tell them the amount and work out a day that I can come deliver. So when I'm finally in front of Mary, I'm like, "Hi, Mary, here's your Avon, and really appreciate your order this time. And is there anything else I can do for you at this time?" And then I'll have this stapled on her bag, and I'll say, "I want to point out to you that I'm giving you a brand new sample of our perfume Haiku Reflections. I've sold a lot of these, so a lot of people are loving this fragrance. If you wouldn't mind trying this fragrance for me, and I would love to get back with you to see what you thought of it." And then that's going to put it in her frame of mind like, oh no, Teresa's going to be calling me, right? So I better try it. Or right then and there, she'll say, I prefer not to try it. I really don't want to try the fragrances. It's better to find out now than to throw it in her bag and then she toss them in the trash, or Lord knows what she's doing with your samples. So it's better to find out now what your customers are doing with them. And like I said, getting to know your customers, getting to know her likes and her dislikes. And if you never ask, you may be giving her 6 years worth of fragrance samples, and she's going to tell you, "I'm never buying those fragrances. I only have one fragrance that I will ever wear. So don't even send me those samples." So don't waste your money on samples without talking to your customers to see what they like and what they don't like. And then also getting a feedback off of your samples. I mean, when you are getting ready to place your next order, and let's say it's like 2 days before your order goes in. Let's say you haven't heard from Mary. And I'm just, you know, using Mary as a name to use. What I do is I call all of my customers. Call or text, depending on what their preferred method of communication is. But I will call them. And I will say, "Hi, Mary, it's Teresa with Avon. How are you this evening?" And I will just start a conversation with her. And if I know something, you know, if she told me something last time, like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go on vacation," I might go into that first. I might say, "How was your vacation? Did you enjoy it? How was your trip?" And then I might, but then you need to go into the fact that you're getting ready to place your order. And what I'll usually do is say, "I'm getting ready to place my order this Thursday, and I would just like to know if you needed anything at this time. How's your fragrance holding up? And do you need to replenish it at this time?" So you need to call for the order if she has not called you. So you need a list of customers. You need to know who your customers are. You need to know who's already placed an order with you and who hasn't yet. And the ones that haven't, call them. Now, when you're on the phone with her, trying to get the order or asking her if she would like to place an order, at that time, you want to talk to her about the samples that you have left her. So when you're asking her, you know, when you're telling her, hey, Mary, I'm getting ready to place an order this Thursday, you could also say, that haiku sample that I left you the last time, did you have a chance to try it? And she's going to tell you yes or no. And if it's yes, then it's like, well, how did you like it? Did you like that fragrance? And that way you get to learn what Mary likes. She's going to say, no, it was too floral for me. Or, you know, whatever she thinks the sample is. But at least you know. Or you might learn that she is not even tried the sample. And if she says, no, I haven't tried the sample yet, then I would ask her, you know, okay, could I follow up with you at the end of this week or next week when I'm coming around with my new brochure for you? I would like to know then how you like it. So that way also it puts it in her mind that I need to use these samples that Teresa gives me because she wants a review, she wants a feedback from it. Also, you can offer incentives to your customers for those who do try your samples and give you honest information back on your samples. Just a second, I'm going to take a drink because someone's suffering with allergies. So, you can also, like I said, offer incentives to your customers for those who do give you honest information about the samples that you've given them. You can say, for any customers that reply back to me about my samples by Wednesday the 20th, I'm going to put your name in a drawing for a free gift bag or a free hand cream or a whatever you can afford to give, a free nail file. Just for trying the sample and giving me honest feedback. I do appreciate all the feedback I get. It helps me to relay to my other customers what the actual customers who are using the product feel about the product, what their perspective is of the product, what they like, don't like about the product. It really helps me to tell other customers about the product. So I really appreciate any of the feedback that I can get. So there you can offer incentives. And then there is the sample club. Lisa Scola did a video on the sample club. I believe she got it from someone in her group or in her downline or someone that Lisa knows of. She got the sample club idea from her and she did a video on it. So if you'd like to learn more about what is sample club, you can go and view her video, or I can do one later. But basically that is asking people on social media and throughout your customer base who would be interested in receiving samples once a month from you and supplying you with that honest feedback. And they have to continue supplying you with the feedback to continue getting the next month's samples. So that's a way to get samples out there to people who are actually trying, trying the samples. One way to get them to try the samples and give you the information back. Now, I am getting ready to turn off my little ring light because I am getting ready to flip my screen for you, and I don't want to blind you with the ring light. So if it gets dim for just a second, it's me turning my ring light off. There we go. And now I'm going to see if I can flip the screen, this is the first time I've ever done it with, look, aha. So I'm going to try to zoom you guys in a little bit more here. And I wanted to show you that this, I'm on youravon.com. Let me see if I can bring you guys in. I'm on youravon.com. And if you go under Web Office and then Address Book and Customer Management, and then you guys know how to do this. You type in a customer's name, find a customer, but I'm just going to click on one. There is a notes section clear down here at the bottom. You see my mouse right here? See here where it says notes? You click on that. That'll open up an area right here that you can put notes in about a customer. So if you do give a customer a sample, it is nice to go in here and just put a note like, let's say C20 left haiku reflections sample. And then you could add note right here. So what that is going to do, and I'll flip you back around right now. So when you put notes on your customers like that, it's great because the next time you go in to place an order and you're calling your list of customers, you could bring each one of your customers up in your customer management group area. You could also check out and see when's the last time did this customer buy, because she hasn't called me. You can see what she bought the last time. And then you could say, well, because of your notes that you're going to have on her, in your notes section, you're going to say, oh, I left her Haiku Reflections campaign 20. This is campaign 21. I'm going to ask her about it. And the reason why you do that is if you're like me, once you get so many customers going on around you, which is a great thing to have, right? To have many customers, you won't remember what you gave everybody and when you gave it and what you gave them. If you keep notes on here, you could go back and, like if they called you from a sample that you gave them clear back in campaign 5. Lord, I can't remember what I gave everybody in campaign 5 by now. But you know what? If I put them in the notes section, I can go to her name and I can say, oh, I did. I gave her a skincare, a new reflection, a new reversalist skincare. Get the name right. So it's a great tool to use. It does take a little bit of time typing everybody's sample in there. What I do is when I'm bagging up everybody's stuff, I have a notepad sitting beside me. Actually, my notepad where I write everybody's name down, phone number, how much they owe me. Sometimes I write what city they're in because I group my customers together by city. So when I make my deliveries, I'm doing everybody in the same city at the same time. But right beside there, I'll put Haiku Reflections. And then I'll bring my entire notebook over to my laptop or my computer. I'll pull each customer up, and then I will put the sample that I gave them in the notes section. And that's just something that'll help you when you're talking to your customers, when you're relaying back to your customers, and working your sample instead of just throwing it in the bag, handing it to her and hoping and praying that she uses it or tries it. This way you're going to know. You're going to know if she's trying your samples. You're going to know which ones she likes and which ones she don't. Number one, so you don't waste your money. Samples are money. So, I mean, they're not a lot of money, but they are money. So let's make them work. Make them work for you and your business. And I hope this video helps you. I hope you found some good ideas in this video. If you have other ideas, please share them. I'd love to hear them. And I hope everybody's orders increase, and let's just work those samples, get them out to people. That's the whole idea behind samples, is to introduce those products to your customers, let them try something new and fun, and let's just get our orders up, and let's have a awesome fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is here. Fall season is here. Parties are going on. Festivals are going on. And Christmas is around the holidays, so let's work those samples. Get them out in your parties, get them out to the festivals, get them to the customers, but don't just drop them in the bag and run. Hand it to her, talk to her, or call her and ask her about the samples that you had for her, or both. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope this helps you. And I love everybody, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.